a statistics. What do you mean by statistics? Statistics means that is the subject which deals with the collection, presentation and analysis of data as well as drawing of meaningful conclusions of data. Okay. So in the statistics, what you have to collect the data. After collection, you have to present that in a meaningful way, and after presenting the data, you can get some main features from the data. Okay. So statistics means that is the subject, that is one subject. In that you will collect some data and you will present that in a neat way, and you will analyze that data to get some main features from that data. Okay. So that is statistics. And in the collection of data, there are two types of collections. First one is primary data and the second one is secondary data. What do you mean by primary data? When the information was collected by the investigator himself or herself with a definite objective or with a definite purpose in her or his mind, then the data obtained is called primary data. So if data is collected by the investigator himself or herself, then that data obtained is called primary data. And secondary data. Secondary data means what? If information was gathered from the source which already had that information stored, then that data is called secondary data. For example, in a class, if I collect marks obtained by 10 students, then that data obtained is a primary data for me. Okay. And if I hand over that marks obtained by 10 students to HM, then that data is a secondary data for HM. Okay. Because that data is collected by me and that is the source for HM. Okay. So like that primary and secondary data. Okay. So primary data means that data is collected by investigator directly, and secondary data is the data which was gathered from the source. Okay. That source already had that information, but when you use such data, that is the data collected by someone else, make sure that that data is not a fake, that is correct information that the source has gathered. You have to verify that. Okay. Next is a collection of data. After collection of data, next presentation of data. After collection, you have to present that data in a meaningful way so that reader can extract main features from that data. Okay. So in such a way, you have to present that collected data. So next one is a presentation of data. After collection of data, the investigator has to find out ways to present them in a form which is meaningful, easily understood and gives it some main features at a glance. Okay. So after collection, you have to present that data in a meaningful way so that any reader can extract the main features from that data. Okay. In that way, you have to present that data. Suppose, for example, if I collect marks obtained by 10 students, that are like this: 9, 5, 2, 8, 3, 6, 2, 5, 0, 6. These marks obtained by 10 students in one class. This is raw data. Okay. These are not in order; they are in a random way. Okay. So these are the marks scored by 10 students of one class. If I say find the highest scorer and lowest scorer, then you may take a little time to find the lowest and highest marks. Suppose data is presented in this way. Okay, it takes time to find the maximum or minimum marks here. But if that same data, if you write down that in ascending order or in descending order, then at a glance you can find its lowest score and highest score. Okay. Here that same data, that is marks obtained by 10 students, we arrange that same data in ascending increasing order. Okay. So if you are given data in this way, then at a glance get what is the lowest value, what is the highest value, and how many students obtained marks to, it is clear here, 2 students obtained 2 marks and 2 students obtained 5 marks, 2 students obtained 6 marks, one student obtained 8 marks, one student obtained 9 marks. Like that easily you can get some main features from the data. So presentation of data is also important. If data is in this way, this data is called raw data, because here that scores are not in order. Okay, how you collect data? That data is called raw data. If you write that in ascending or descending order, then you can get some features, some main features from that data. For example, highest and maximum and minimum value of this data you can find easily at a glance. Okay, and this type of data, this type of presentation of data is ungrouped data. And next type is grouped data. In that grouped data, you have two types of discrete frequency data and continuous frequency data. Discrete frequency data is same example I will consider. Here which scores you have, 0 is there, 2, next 3, 5, 6, 8 and 9 are there. So that I listed as a exercise, okay. 0 is there, then 2 is there, then 3 is there, 5, 6, 8, 9, like that there. After that, one more column you have to do, that is the frequency column. Frequency means how many times that score appeared in the data, that is called a frequency of the data. So here you observe 0 appeared only once, so its frequency is 1. That means that indicates only one student got 0 mark, like that, and 2 appeared 2 times, so frequency of 2 mark 2 is 2, and 3 appeared only once, so frequency of 3 is 1, means only one student got 3 mark, like that, and 5 appeared 2 times, so 2, and 6 appeared 2 times, so frequency of 6 is 2, and 8 appeared 1 times, so frequency of 8 is 1, and 9 appeared only once, so frequency of that is 1, and total of frequency must be equal to the number of data. Okay, number of data present in this, that is 10. Okay, and one more type of grouped frequency data is a continuous frequency data. Suppose here only less number of data is there, but sometimes you may have marks obtained by 100 students, 500 students. So then this representation will be difficult to write, not difficult to write, it takes time to write. Okay, so that in such a data we go to represent the data in continuous frequency data. In that you have class intervals and frequency column. Class intervals means we are grouping some marks in a group. Okay, so here 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, like that class intervals we made. And in this class interval, you should not take this one, second number, you should not take in that class interval. You have to take second number in the very next class interval. For example, here 0 to 2. In that you can take 0, 1, but 2 you should not include in this group. You have to include that in a next group. So like that here 2 to 4. In this 2 you can consider, 3 you can consider, but 4 you should not consider in this class interval. You have to consider that in a next class interval. So like that we done a group here. Okay, here I started with the 0 to 2 because the lowest mark is 0 and highest mark is 9. So 8 to 10 there I stopped. If you write the next class intervals, you will get the frequency 0 because there are no students obtained next highest marks. Okay, so 0 to 2, how many students obtained 0 to 2 marks? Only one student is there. Okay, only one student. So 0 to 2 column, 0 to 2, for that the frequency is 1. Next 2 to 4. 2 to 4 means you can consider 2, mark 2 and 3. So 2 and 3. There are 3 students are there who obtained a mark between 2 to 4. Okay. Next 4 to 6. 4 to 6, how many students are there? See here, 4 to 6, in 4 to 6 you should not include that consider 4 and 5. But 4 is not there here, only 5 is there. There are 2 students are there who are in this group, 4 to 6. Next 6 to 8. In a 6 to 8, you can consider 6 and 7. 8 you should not consider in that class interval. So 6 to 8 class interval, how many students are there? 2 students. So frequency of this group is 2. Next 8 to 10. 8 to 10 means you can consider mark 8 and 10. Sorry, mark 8 and 9. So only 2 students you have, 8 and 9. So that is in group of 8 to 10. So this type of data is called continuous frequency data, and this type of data, that is if you have xi column and fi column, that the data is called discrete frequency data. And if data is given in this way, then that data is called ungrouped data. Okay. So you have to identify which type of presentation is meaningful. That the presentation you have to present, so that the reader can get the main features from that data. Okay. Next problems are related to stack. The blood groups of 30 students of class 8 are recorded as follows. You are given the blood groups of 30 students that are like this. Okay. A, B, O, O, A, B, O, A, O, B, A, like that. And you have to represent this data in the form of frequency distribution table, which is the most common and which is the rarest blood group among these students that you have to find. Okay? You have to form a frequency distribution table. After that, you have to identify which is the common and which is the rarest blood group among the 30 students. Okay? So frequency distribution table. To do that, you have to observe this data. In this, how many types of blood groups are given, that you have to list in first column. Okay. So in the first column, I will write the blood groups, and second column we put the tally marks. Okay, tally marks, and the third column we write the frequency. Frequency means the number of times that data score appeared in the data. Okay. Now blood groups. How many types of blood groups are there? A is there. Next B is there. Next O is there. Next AB. So 4 types of blood groups are there in this data. Okay. So now we put the tally marks for the given data. First A, so put a tally mark in A. Next B, your tally mark. Next O, 2 times there, so put 2 tally marks. Next AB, so in AB you have to put a tally mark. Next O, in O you have to put a tally mark. Next A, so in A. Next O, here. Next B, B is here. Next A here. Next O is here. After the 4th tally mark, 5th tally mark you put a cross, because while counting it will help. Okay, you can count easily. After O, next B is here. Next A is here. Next 2 O's. Okay, so 2 O's. Next A is here. After 4th tally mark you put up 5th one cross. Next AB is here. Next O here. Next A2 is there continuous. So in A 2 tally marks. Next 2 O's. Okay, one O like this, another O, for another O tally mark cross. Okay, because that is 5th one in that. Next AB here. Next B is here. Next A in the first. Next O in the third. Next B is here. After 4th, you have to put a cross. Next A up. Next B is here. Next O. Okay. So now you count these tally marks and you write in a frequency column. Okay. Here 5 plus 4, that is 9. Next 5 plus 1, that is 6. Next 5, 10, 12. Next here 3. Okay, and you count these. Take total of this, so that gives how much? That should give 30. Okay, 9 plus 6, 15. 15 plus 3, that is 18. 18 plus 12, that is 30. Or 9 plus 6, 15. 15 plus 2, 17 plus 3, 20. 2 left, 2 plus 1, 3. you should get a total of 30. Okay. So this indicates that there are 9 students with the A blood group and there are 6 students with the B blood group and there are 12 students with the O blood group and there are 3 students with the blood group AB and total strength is 30. Okay. We are given 30 students blood group and for that we done the frequency distribution table like this. After that you have to find which is the rarest blood group and which is the most common blood group among the given data. If you observe like this, it is uneasy to identify which is the most common and which is the rarest. But if you observe this frequency distribution table, easily you can guess, easily you can identify which is the most common. Highest frequency is for which blood group? It is for O. Okay, so highest frequency is 12. Means there are 12 students with the blood group O. Means O blood group that is the most common, and which is the least frequency, that is 3. Means there are only 3 students with the blood group AB. Means that the blood group is the rarest blood group. Okay, so that is the answer. And side of a table or below the table we write the most common blood group. Blood group is which one? That is O. And if you want the reason, is this one. Since frequency is 12 for O. And that is the maximum frequency in the table. And rarest of blood group is which one? That is AB, because that has the least frequency. Since frequency of AB is 3. Frequency here of O is 12. This is the maximum frequency and this is the least or minimum among these, okay, in the table. So like this you have to make a frequency distribution table. First you write down what that data is about what that in first column. After that put a tally marker. If you put a tally marker, then without mistake we can write down frequency. Okay. So this type of table representing data in this form is called a frequency distribution table. By looking at the frequency distribution table, you can get the main features of the data. Okay. Next problem is this one. The relative humidity in percentage you are given of a certain city for a month of 30 days was as follows. And like this you have 30 days data relative humidity. Okay. And for that you have to construct a grouped frequency distribution table with the classes 84 to 86, 86 to 88 like that. Means the class size of length 2 you have to take a class intervals of class size 2 you have to take. Then which month or season do you think this data is about? That you have to identify. Next what is the range of this data? So now to construct a grouped frequency distribution table, you have to do 3 columns. In our first column, we write down class intervals. Okay, CI means a class interval in short. Next column is for tally marks, and next column is for frequency. Okay, and class intervals you have to take 84 to 86 like that. Okay. So I will start with like that 84 to 86, 84 to 86, next 86 to 88, next 88 to 90, next 90 to 92 like that. You have to take class intervals with the class size 2. Next 92 to 94, 94 plus 2 is 96, so after 96 next 96 to 98, next 98 to 100. Okay, plus 2 you have to add up to the first number, so then you will get a second number. Okay, so like that you have to take a class intervals. After that, next tally marks. In 84 to 86, you can consider 84, 85 up to 85. Okay, and 86 you cannot take in that. 86 you have to take in next. And in this class interval, second class interval, you cannot take off from 86 to 88, but not 88. Okay, 88 you have to take in next class interval. Here 90 you have to take in this class interval. And 92 you cannot take in a fourth class interval, you have to take that in a next class interval. And over 96 you cannot take in a sixth class interval, you have to take that in a seventh class interval. And 98 you have to take in a eighth class interval, not in a seventh class interval. Now put the tally marks for each data. Now 98.1 is in a eighth class interval. Next 89.2 that is in a third. Next 96.2 is in a seventh class interval. Next 98.6 that is in a last. And 92.3 that is in a fifth class interval. Next 92.1 same class. Then 99.2 that is in a last eighth. Then 97.1 that is in a seventh class interval. Next 84.9 that is in a first class interval. Next 90.3 that is in the here fourth class interval. Next 93.5 that is in the fifth class interval. Next 90.2 that is in a fourth class interval. Next it is 6.5 that is in second. Next 92.7 that is in a fifth class interval. Next 95.7 that is in a sixth class interval. Next 95.3 that is in sixth class interval. Next 95.1 same class interval. 98.3 it is in the last eighth class interval. Next 92.9 that is in the fifth class interval cross. Next 97.2 that is in the seventh class interval. Next 97.3 that is in C. Then 96.3 that is also in a same class interval but cross. And 93.3 that is in a fifth class interval. Next 96.1 that is in a seventh class interval. Next 94.2 that is in sixth class interval. Next 95.2 that is in C but cross. Next 92.1 that is in a fifth class interval. Next 95.1 that is in sixth class interval. Next 97.3 that is in seventh class interval. Next 89 is in the third class interval. So after writing tally marks for each data, you have to count the total number of tally marks for each class interval. Here only one, so 1, and here you have only 1. Then here you have 2 tally marks, so frequency is 2. Here also 2. Next here 5 plus 2 that is 7. Next 5 plus 1 that is 6. And 5 plus 2 that is 7. And here 4. And total of these frequency you have to get the 30. Okay, 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 4 plus 2, 6 plus 6, 12 plus 7, 19 plus 7 that is 26 plus 4. 26 plus 4 it is 30. So you are given total 30 is relative humidity, and we listed all data in the form of frequency distribution table. Okay, and here you have to find after doing that frequency distribution table, you have to identify which month or which season do you think of this data is about. Since all these observations, all these relative humidity numbers are more than 90, more than 80%, we can now say that relative humidity is more in which season, that is more in the rainy season. right? So this data is about which season? This data is about the rainy season. So for the second one, answer is since the relative humidity is more in the rainy season. Given data present, given data is about the rainy season. Okay, so this is the answer. To answer this, you have to observe these numbers. These all numbers are more than 80%. Okay, we are given all these numbers in percentage. Okay, more than 80% you have. So this data is about the rainy season. Next, what is the range of this data? In you observe the given data. In that the highest score is 99.2 and the lowest score is 84.9. Okay, and to find the range you have to use this formula: highest score minus the lowest score. Now in our data, highest score is 99.2 and lowest score is 84.9. Subtract 84.9 from 99.2. 12 minus 9, that is 3. Then here point is there. You have to carry that point, decimal point. Then 8 minus 4, that is 4. 9 minus 8, that is 1. Okay, so range is how much? Range is 14.3. Okay. Next problem is the distance in kilometer of 40 engineers from their residence to their place of work were found as follows. You are given a distance between their residence and the place of work in kilometers of 40 engineers like this, and for this you have to construct a grouped frequency distribution table with the class size of 5 for the data given, and by taking the class interval, first class interval as a 0 to 5 and 5 not included in this class interval, what main features do you observe from this tabular representation? Okay, I already done this table with the class intervals, tally marks and frequency. Okay, so to make a grouped frequency distribution table, you have to do table like this with the class intervals, tally marks and frequency columns. Okay, and in the class intervals you are given you have to start with the 0 to 5. Okay, class intervals you have to start with the 0 to 5. So like that next class interval 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, up to 35 enough, because here maximum distance is 32. So up to 35 enough. If you write next also no problem, but there you will not get any tally marks, you will get the 0 frequency for that. Okay. So now for each distance you put a tally mark and you have to keep in mind that these second numbers are not in that class interval, that will lie in a very next class interval. Okay. For example, in a 0 to 5, 5 is not included in this class interval, but that is in which very next class interval, that is in this class interval. So if you have data 5, then you have to put a tally marks not in this, you have to put a tally mark in this class interval for 5. For 10, you have to put a tally mark here. For 15, you have to put a tally mark here. For 20, you have to put a tally mark here, not here. Okay, so like that. So now for 5 is in a second class interval. I will give name of first class interval, second class interval, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. Okay, so now 5, that is in second class interval. Next 19, that is in a fourth class interval. Next 7, 7 that is in a second class interval. Next 12, that is in a third class interval. Next 3, that is in a first class interval. Next 10, that is in a third class interval. Next 9, 9 is in second class interval. Next 14 is in a third class interval. Next 10 is in same. Then 12 also in the same. Then 7 is in the second class interval. Next 2, that is in the first class interval. Next 20, that is in the that is in a 5th class interval. Next 17, that is in a 4th class interval. Next 8, that is in a 2nd class interval, but cross because this is the 5th tally mark there. And 9 is in a 2nd class interval. And next 25 is in a 6th class interval. Next 18 is in a 4th class interval. Next 3 is in a 1st class interval. Next 6, that is in 2nd class interval. Next is 11 is in a 3rd class interval. Next 11 also same class interval. Next 5 is in a 2nd class interval. Next 15 is in a 4th class interval. Next 13 is in a 3rd class interval. Next 32 that is in a 7th class interval. Next 12 is in a 3rd class interval. And next 15 is in a 4th class interval, but cross. And next 7 is in a 2nd class interval. Next 17, that is in a 4th class interval. Next 15 also in the same class interval. Next is 7 is in a 2nd class interval, but cross. Next 12 is in a 3rd class interval, cross. And next 16 is in a 4th class interval. And next 18 is in a same class interval. Next 6, that is in a 2nd class interval. Next 31 is in a last class interval. Next 2 is in a 1st class interval. Next 3 also in the same class interval, but cross because this is the 5th one in that. Next 12 is in a 3rd class interval. Okay. So this is a tally mark of this data. Okay. So now you count the total tally marks, that gives you frequency. Now here are 5. And here 5 plus 5 10 plus 1, that is 11. Next also same 11. Next 5 plus 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. Next 1. Next 1. Next is 2. And count this frequency column total. 5 plus 1 6 plus 1 7 plus 9 16 17 18 19 20. Okay. 2 left. 2 plus 1 3 plus 1 4 40. So we got total of frequency 40, means there are 40 engineers. Okay. And what the main features do you observe from this data? See here 11 9. There is a maximum number of engineers have their residence between 5 to 20 kilometers from their place of work. That you can say, or you can say these 1 plus 2. Total of 4 engineers have their residence in between 20 to 35 kilometers from their place of work. Or I can say there is only one engineer whose distance from their residence to the place of work is 20 to 25. Like that we can decide. Okay, we can get some features like that. But I will write this one. Okay, 5 plus 11 plus 11 plus 9. Maximum number of engineers are in this class interval. Okay, starts with the 0 and ends with the 20. So this one I will write down as a main feature. Maximum number of engineers, that is 5 plus 11 plus 11 plus 9. They are having their residence in between 0 to 20 from their place of work. Okay, I have taken only this much. Starts with the 0 and ends with the 20. Okay, and number of engineers 5 plus 11 plus 11 plus 9. So that I will write as a one feature from this tablet representation. Okay, there are 5 plus 11 plus 11 plus 9. How much? That is equal to 36. 5 plus 1 6. 1 plus 9 10. 16, then 36. 36 engineers have their residence between 0 to 20 kilometers from their place of work. Place So for like this, you can write your own conclusion, your own observation from this tabular representation. Okay, thank you.